What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Had to yawn there, excuse me. So, yesterday, the Dallas Mavericks lost to the Minnesota Timberwolves 105, I think it was, to 99. But in that game, Klay Thompson achieved a personal milestone. He moved into fifth all time in the most three-pointers made in NBA history behind his former teammate Steph Curry, who's way out in front, number one, followed by James Harden, followed by Ray Allen, and in fourth place, Dame Lillard. Now, that's with Klay Thompson missing 2 entire seasons after the ACL injury he suffered in the 2019 NBA Finals, and then while trying to come back from that particular injury, he suffered an Achilles rupture, which put him back further, which ultimately made him miss 2 entire seasons and much of that third season. I think he came back I think he missed the entire 2019, 20, and 2021 seasons. He came back, I think it was January 2022. Wasn't for that, I think Klay beat well over 3,000 three-pointers. Be that as it may, he passed his idol. That was his idol. That was his guy, Reggie Miller. Reggie Miller played in the NBA from 1987 to 2005. Okay? Now, we'll have people, have people's tongues wagging about this, people's eyebrow raised in a clueless manner, is something that Klay Thompson said after achieving this milestone. I think he put this on Instagram. In the statement, he said, "One of my favorite memories along this journey was working out for the Knicks in June 2011, and Donnie Walsh told me how much I reminded him of Reggie. That meant the world to me, inspired me to never stop shooting. Salute to the greatest to ever shoot it. Thanks for the blueprint, OG." Now he's talking about Reggie Miller. A lot of people look at this saying, whoa. Steph Curry's the GOAT. Plus, that's your boy. That was your teammates for so many. That was your teammate for so many years. You guys won 4 NBA championships together. So how in the world could you say that Reggie Miller is the greatest to ever shoot it? So some people say, okay, this is confirmation of a rift between Steph Curry and Klay Thompson. Now, of course, we know Klay Thompson's end with the Warriors was not the most amicable. And there were some rumblings of some tension between Steph and Klay. And I think Draymond, for that matter, right? Now, some people may interpret this differently than me. I don't know whether or not there's any rift between the two. But I'm going to say this. If Klay had said that, if he was still a member of the Warriors, I would buy more into this. But he's no longer a member of the Warriors. He's a member of the Mavericks. So you could argue he could be obligated to still say Steph is the best, but, he strikes me as a guy that when he went to Dallas, he started over as far as his commitment to the Dallas Mavericks organization. He's no longer committed to the Golden State Warriors, nor is he committed to Steph Curry. Now, when everything's said and done, when these guys stop playing, you know what I'm saying, it is what it is. Klay could have a mentality too, like, well, Steph is my boy off the court, but now he's my opponent. So I'm going to speak more of my mind, my thoughts, rather than just be partisan to the Warriors. You know, it could be something like that. Plus, you got to remember Reggie Miller is his guy. That was his idol growing up. And I'm gonna say this, man. You know, to be honest with you, it's not like Reggie doesn't have a little bit of an argument for this. Now I know people are like, what are you talking about? Well, unlike some of the other great players and great scorers and shooters, Reggie really, for most of his best years at least, he really didn't have another guy on that team that was a great scorer like that. You know what I mean? Like, think about it. He didn't really have another great scorer on that club like that. I mean, earlier on, you know, until 91, they had Chuck Person. But after 91, he was gone. I think he got traded to the Timberwolves, who I just mentioned in this video. But yeah, for most of the 90s, when the Pacers were good, they didn't have great shooters on that team like that. I mean, I know they got Chris Mullin later on, but he was past his prime. Steph's played with some great shooters. You know, Klay Thompson's one of them. When I say shooters, I mean guys that can shoot the rock from outside or can shoot in general. Sean Livingston wasn't a great three-point shooter, but he was a great jump shooter, great, you know, mid-range shooter. You know? Right now, he's playing with what's his name? Guy always in trade talks all the time. Buddy Hield. He's playing with Buddy Hield, who's last I checked is thriving with the team. Let me see. Buddy Hield is averaging in 23 minutes of play, 13.6 points, 45% shooting, 42% from downtown, 92% from line. Yeah. So, you know, yeah, Dennis Schroeder's playing like ass with the Warriors. Jesus. 28% shooting, 24% from downtown. Jeez. Anyway, Reggie, he didn't really play with guys that could knock, you know, that could spread the floor. Is what I'm basically trying to get at. Like his first point guard was what? Vern Fleming? Vern Fleming wasn't a great shooter. Mark Jackson could knock him down, but he wasn't a lights out shooter. It was Reggie. Reggie was the main outside scorer. He was the main scoring threat. Plus, he played on a team that, even by 90 standards, had a slow pace. So that hurt his numbers. Their offense wasn't free flowing. He didn't get a lot of, you know, transition layups and buckets and things of that nature. Most of his points came in the half court situation, half court, you know, sets, whatever. So he didn't really light up a stat sheet. I think the most points he ever averaged in the season was 24. Most of the time, he averaged between 18 and 22 points a night. But if you watch Reggie Miller, the degree of difficulty as far as the shots that he made was incredible. And mind you, 39, 40% in the 90s is like shooting 42, 43% from three now. What I remember about Reggie Miller was no matter what he was shooting for the game, you always feared him in the fourth quarter. And you didn't pay no attention if he was struggling the first three quarters. You just learned that Reggie was that type of guy. You see he's 2 of 9 from the floor, right? And you go, uh-oh. He was a one guy, you go, uh-oh. And people are like, what you mean, uh-oh? He's struggling. He's playing like shit. Yeah, and that scares me. One, we're entering the fourth quarter, and that's what's primed for Miller time. Two, you could also argue that The law of averages state, well, he's actually due to make some shots. I actually got more scared when he was struggling going to the fourth quarter than when he was on fire in the first or second. And unlike some of these guys today who have some of their best moments against the lower tier teams, Reggie Miller often thrived and usually thrived in high pressure situations and playoff situations against the best teams. And he did the best as far as any guard post 1993 to somewhat fill the void of Michael Jordan departing the NBA. I mean, because you had this sensational Mitch Richmond in the West, but the Kings weren't doing nothing. You know what I'm saying? So Reggie was that guy, man. He became the Nick killer. Reggie had some big games against, you know what I'm saying, other teams. He had some big moments against Chicago Bulls. He was the only guy feared in that 1998 conference final series against the Pacers. He was the one guy I feared. Every time Reggie Miller shot the ball, I swear to God, I thought it was going in. So, you know, Klay Thompson, though, real ones know Reggie Miller is that dude. I think if you put Reggie Miller in today's NBA, more than likely, he's shooting 50% from the floor. He's shooting well over 40% from downtown. He's going to still shoot 80 to 90% from the line. 88 to 90%, I should say. Maybe even 91%. And as far as how many points he's going to average, he's not a selfish player, but I can't help but think he would average even more. I mean, the game is tailor-made for him. It's tailor-made for him. A phenomenal catch and shoot player. You know, this is a 3-point happy league. Finally, Reggie would get the green light to take 8, 9, 10 threes a night. When he was playing, 4 and 5 attempts a game was a lot. That was a lot back then. That's almost below average now for the marquee guys. Yeah, so Reggie would be even better today. I think he would actually have some seasons averaging over 30 points a night. But anyway, that's just my opinion. But yeah, I don't think this was in my opinion at least, I don't think this was a diss on Reggie. I mean, excuse me, a diss on Steph Curry. I don't think so. I don't think it was intended to be a diss. I think this was intended to be praise for his childhood idol. But anyway, that's just my opinion. Tell me what you guys think.